Ramadan, a month rooted in reflection, generosity and community. Muslims across the country are feeding people, supporting one another and giving back, not for attention, not for applause, but because this is what the month asks of them. This year, we're hitting the road, visiting iftars across London and the north, meeting the people behind them and seeing the work that unfolds night after night, bringing people together in ways that words can't describe. So join us as we take Ramadan on the road. Our first stop is the Ramadan Lights in Leicester Square, hosted by the Aziz Foundation for the 4th year in a row. Let's hear from the Mayor of London, Siddiq Khan, on the opening of the Ramadan Lights.
There are those around the world, there are those in Europe, there are those in this country and in this city who are sowing the seeds of division, sowing the seeds of hatred, and sowing the seeds of fear. And what are the jobs we have to do during this month of Ramadan, whether you're a Muslim or a non-Muslim, is show that London is the antidote to that hatred. We are the antithesis of all they believe in. And so during this month of Ramadan, please, if you're a Muslim, open your fast, do an iftar with a non-Muslim. If you're a non-Muslim, ask one of your Muslim friends, why are you so miserable? And they'll tell you it's because fasting is hard. And break a fast with a Muslim friend. But also, during this month of Ramadan, when we're fasting, when we're praying, and we're giving charity, Ramadan's less fortunate around the world, whether in Sudan, whether in Gaza, whether in other parts of the world, Ukraine. Remember them in your prayers and in your charity. But during this month of Ramadan, let's show the best of London, let's show the best of Britain, and let's show the best of Islam.
Well, assalamu alaikum to you and to all your viewers. Listen, it's a privilege. Look, we made history 4 years ago. We became the first city in the Western world to have Ramadan lights. We've done it year after year after year. And I'm so proud that here in the center of our city, during the month of Ramadan and during the 3 days of Eid, we'll have lights celebrating Eid, but also commemorating the month of Ramadan as we in London, across the country and across the globe, observe the holy month of Ramadan.
I had someone tell me, and he goes out to work in Turkey and places like Los Angeles. He says whenever he's in Turkey, he has to come back to London to experience the spirit of Ramadan. So I want to ask you, what does Ramadan in London feel like?
That's a great story and anecdote. I want to tell everyone about that, your Turkish friend. Look, I think the joy of London is our diversity, but even within Muslims there's diversity. You get Londoners who are Afghani origin, Londoners who are Albanian origin, Londoners who are Turkish origin or Pakistani origin or Eritrean or Ethiopian, and each Londoner from a different ethnic origin has a different custom or culture, and that's the joy of London. But also the joy of London is non-Muslims want to know about Islam. The number of iftars I go to when there are Muslims and non-Muslims there, it raises my spirits. I've got friends who are Christian, who are Jewish, who are Sikh, Hindu. Sometimes they fast in solidarity. And by the way, you can't have a smint either. I'm sorry, or water. It's a proper fast year. But that's the joy of London, right? And so at this time in particular, when we know there are people sowing the seeds of division, hatred and fear, I think we're the antidote and the antithesis of all that.
So why is Ramadan the most romantic month of the year?
I think because, if you can show tolerance and the word sabr to your loved one, it must be love, man.
Oh, I was hoping you get the joke. It's because we have dates every night. That's why it's most romantic night.
Yeah, can I just say, as a dad, I never tell dad jokes. But it's astaghfirullah, this guy, man. Can I just say, if my mom's watching this guy believes in dates. I'm happily married, man, for the last 31 years, man. Every day is a date night with my wife.
But they could be halal dates.
They could be.
Tell us about this year and the theme of it.
This year is super exciting. This year our campaign is about community, it's about cuisine, and it's about culture. So we have returning to us again Ramadan Delights, the West End's first ever iftar food trail, and so many restaurants in the area are participating. You can get freebies, you can get discounts, who doesn't love a discount, and special limited edition menu items. There's restaurants like Shake Shack and Pizza Express. So that will be really exciting. And we also have the first ever in central London interfaith art exhibition featuring so many great art pieces from different artists from all faiths and none. And that's happening from today until the end of March.
How can people get hold of these freebies? I'm a guy who loves freebies, so
Oh, yeah, me
how
too.
can people get involved?
Well, go on our website, ramadanlightslondon.com. You can see an interactive map of where all these restaurants are, exactly what they're offering. And you basically show up. Maybe there are special codes, maybe there's something that you order, and then you get everything you need.
So I've been in London now for 20 years of my life.
Nice.
Seeing the Christmas lights has become iconic. Ramadan Lights, next up, it's becoming iconic and a part of history. What does that mean for you?
It's incredible. It's a legacy I'm so proud to be carrying and passing on to the next generation of British Muslims. I want them to grow up feeling the way I do, seeing Christmas lights, the way people now can see Hanukkah lights and Diwali lights. I think Ramadan Lights is now becoming an established part of London's cultural calendar, and that's just amazing.
Assalamu alaikum. I'm Asma here from Muslim Sports Foundation. I've come here today, invited by the Aziz Foundation to come and see and share the light. And it's amazing to be here in the gallery and to experience the different art forms that are here. In particularly for me, the ones around the Arabic text and their interpretation into art form for everyone to share. And it's starting of our journey to share the light, I guess, which will move on forward to the Ramadan Lights, which we will share and shine on everybody. And that's what, Muslim Sports Foundation is about: social cohesion, bringing sports to everyone. Sport is a universal language which everybody shares and loves, and we're trying to engage the Muslim community to obviously embrace that and to share it with everybody in the world.
So I've been told you're the new appointed CEO of the foundation. So for the foundation, what does sharing the light mean? How would you share the light?
I think for us, sharing the light is through the inclusions that we offer, through our embodiment of social cohesion when it comes to sport and physical activity. I think it's really important to look at the skills that are there and to allow people from our communities to actually reach for that light and to be able to be part of that light.
Assalamu alaikum. Well, we're here today. We're celebrating shared light theme, and I'm so excited to be here. There's so many people in the room, beautiful artwork happening. It's really bringing home the positivity in our communities and what we can do together. So yeah, it's been lovely so far.
Have you had a look at any of the artwork? What
Yeah.
stands out to you?
I mean, there's so much in terms of variety, from intricate stuff to like crazy art stuff. And then I think my favorite piece so far has to be the Masjid al-Aqsa ones. Lots of calligraphy going on, a lot of Arabic going on. And it's wonderful to see so many different artists showcased.
And this year's theme for the Ramadan Lights is Share the Light. What does that mean for you, Share the Light?
I think it's bringing out the best in all of us and sharing that with the community, because with the rise of Islamophobia and the far right hate, I think now is the time for us to talk about how we are more similar than we are different. So sharing the light, that's what that means to me.
You've been such a great advocate for Muslim women in hijab and reverts as well. With Ramadan around the corner, is there advice you can give to reverts, specifically women reverts?
Well, I would say be confident in your faith, be strong in your faith. Don't worry, don't hold too much concern for the far right or anything. Be authentically yourself. And yeah, Ramadan's coming, so we're going to get to, focus on ibadah and worship and connection to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. I think Islam for me definitely gives me the courage and the confidence to be, the best that I can be. So that's what I would say. Be the best that you can be.
Welcome to Leicester Square. It's rainy. I've had two lovely sisters waiting for us to get ready and to do an interview basically. They're raining, it's wet. Listen, Assalamu alaikum, can you introduce yourself?
Salam, I'm Jasmine. Alaikum assalam, I'm Hawa.
So tell me what brings you here today.
So today we are part of a foundation, Aziz Charity Foundation, and that's what's actually brought us to London to celebrate.
What does Spread the Light mean to you? It's not only the exhibition, but it's the theme for this year's lights.
I mean, I would say obviously it kicked off with the whole exhibition, but I think where we live here in the UK, in Britain, is very multicultural. I think, by having an event here itself is spreading the light, spreading the joy, especially in this month of Ramadan, where it's a huge time of reflection for us.
This is a part of history. We've had Diwali, we've had the Christmas lights, but this is becoming a part of history. What does this mean to you?
So seeing the Ramadan lights brings a lot of joy. Before it was something that we quietly celebrated at home,
But it's amazing how, like, you know, we have our lights shining in celebration of Ramadan in the middle of our city. So it's like, you know, bringing our traditions in the middle of London, a bit like belonging, a bit like the fabrics of London.
I mean, look, you know what? We just got to keep going at the end of the day. I don't think there is a lot for us to do. Just us being ourselves, who we are, bringing something like this here in the middle of London. I think that speaks volumes. The people, the kindness, the joy that we spread, I think for me that is more than enough, you know.
And we'll finish off over there. It's about the joy we spread. And I'm going to hand it back to you, Brother Imran. Assalamu alaikum.
So this is the team that actually represented Pakistan at the Youth Championship in South Korea last year. And they actually won the plate division, which is incredible. But this is the team.
So can you introduce the team quickly?
Yes. So I'm going to pass it over so they can introduce themselves. Yeah. So this is Leah.
Hi, I'm Leah. I play goal shoot, goal attack for the Pakistan team.
Hi, I'm Minnie. I play wing defence and centre.
Hi, I'm Samaya. I play wing defence and centre.
Hi, I'm Alicia. I play goal shooter.
Hi, I'm Serena. I play wing defence, goal defence.
Hi, I'm Farah. I play wing attack.
And hi, I'm Amanda Newton, and I'm the head coach.
Okay, so starting from you guys, from you all the way down, why netball? Why did you choose netball as your sport?
Chose netball because I did athletics and you could transfer the sports, the skills into the sport, but it's actually kind of a really good team cohesion sport, and yeah, you meet really, really nice people.
I chose netball because a lot of girls from where I lived around Colchester decided to play, and it was a nice way for me to integrate myself in with the girls around me and make new friends, new experiences.
I love netball from as soon as I started in primary school, and I kind of just stuck with it. Beyond grateful that I have, because I have the community that I have now.
I wanted to inspire the younger Pakistani girls to get into sport.
So I want to ask, you made a Pakistani netball team in the UK. Why not an English or a UK British team?
So number one, representation is really important to our roots, our culture. So that's number one. And to be honest, it doesn't matter where you are living to represent Pakistan. So yes, these girls live in the UK, but they're very much Pakistani, and that is why they decided to support that pathway.
Now we take a trip to East London for the Welcoming Ramadan Conference, where Chef Hamza had some tips on how to stay healthy this Ramadan.
Assalamu alaikum, thank you very much. Wow, what a crowd. Guys, I am your light entertainment after that serious moment. So I'm going to do something very light for you guys, just to relax. Hopefully the food is coming out. I know they're kind of starving you all into submission here. Alhamdulillah. It's all for a good cause. So we are going to be doing something here, nice and simple, very easy. And it's a kind of an iftar smoothie, as I like to call it. It's the kind of thing that works well. Thank you very much. The kind of thing that works really well for you guys during the month of Ramadan. You've got all the essentials in here, and this specific dish, thank you, appreciate it. This specific smoothie is perfect just before you eat. Now, when I do my fast, when I break my fast, to be honest with you, I never get to eat on time because I'm in the kitchen serving a lot of people. But what normally happens if I'm off, I'll have a little smoothie, break my fast, 10, 15 minutes after that, then we can eat. Bismillah. This just kind of opens your stomach, gets your stomach ready, prepared with all the important vital ingredients. Now, here at this table here kind of reminds me of Islam Channel way back in the day when I first started cooking on a table very similar to this. MashaAllah, Islam Channel has come so far, and I'm happy and glad that we're here at this point at the moment. So without further ado, I'm going to crack on. It's very, very simple, a great dish. And I'm just going to run through some of the things. We talked about the health benefits of certain foods. And this little smoothie here has most of them for us. So we need this little blender. That's working well. Now I'm doing it live. So please, hopefully I'm not going to put everything everywhere. We're going to start with dates. Now in Ramadan, we've got loads of dates. Everyone's got dates, plenty of them. So we're going to start with a few dates. This is for the sugar. Now, when you're fasting, everybody knows your blood sugar is going to drop. It's the best time to kind of detox as well. Get too much excess sugar. Unfortunately, with our communities, we eat too much sugar. Diabetes is a problem. But Ramadan actually helps us with this. So it balances our sugar levels. It's great for us. So we're going to bring back natural sugars with the dates. So I'm going to add, it's entirely up to you. It depends on how kind of sweet you want it. If you don't particularly want dates or you're kind of dated out for all of Ramadan, you can use honey, more than welcome to. But I prefer dates because we have plenty of them. Then I'm going to add some nuts. So the dates here, the sugar, regulate our sugar level. We're going to have some fats, the good fats. These are walnuts. You're going to put a little bit in there. Gives it a great bit of texture as well. Thickens up your smoothie. Makes it great for you. So we're going to put this in here. So these are the good fats. There are good fats and there are bad fats. These are good. So we're going to chuck these in there like so. Nice and simple. Then we're going to add potassium, slow releasing energy. Okay, bananas. These ones, for my liking, thank you crew, they're a bit raw. Normally I'd like the ones that are kind of battered and bruised and really brown. They're the sweetest ones. So try and get those ones, the ones that you've left in the fruit bowl for far too long. These ones are really raw, but we're going to put that in there. So we're going to have a banana. We'll add that inside there. This table kind of makes me feel like I'm going to do a magic trick. Okay, I feel like I should be showing cards to you guys here. So anyway, I digress slightly. So we've got that banana in there. We'll add another one as well. And I know today is important and, you know, serious. We're here for a serious reason that, but we have to look at life and say, Alhamdulillah. And it's good to share our knowledge, share our wealth. That's why we're here. So I'm sharing my knowledge because I don't have any wealth to share. So I'm going to share my knowledge with you guys. Hopefully you guys can share your wealth. That's why we're here. So this is my knowledge. Share your wealth. I'm going to add a pinch of cinnamon, not too much. I say this a lot. My wife detests cinnamon in desserts, so she can't drink it today. So I'm going to put a pinch in there, just a little bit. If you don't like cinnamon, there's something wrong with you. But if you don't like cinnamon, change it for something else, okay? Then we're going to add some milk. Again, good fats, a bit of calcium. All right? Not too much, like so. It's around about half a pint in there. Perfect. I'm going to add a little bit of ice because we are under these warm lights. So I'm going to add a little bit of ice here to that, just to chill it down. The more ice you add, the more frozen kind of style that it gets with it as well. So we're going to add a little bit of ice. Now, I say this is great for Ramadan. It's also good for the morning time, suhoor. It's one of those dishes that are good for you if you're going to have in the morning. I've seen, or I know households that kind of first thing in the morning, for suhoor, for fajr, they start cooking. I don't know how that happens. For me, this is the perfect kind of dish. It's got all the nutrients that you need, slow releasing energy that you need to get through the day. The day is, alhamdulillah, very short at the moment. So this is a perfect dish if you kind of smoothie you want to have, you know, just before fajr. You wake up early, takes 5 minutes maximum to do. It's really good. And all the energy is slow releasing and it will sustain you throughout the day. So we're going to blitz this very quickly. And it's one of those drinks that kind of we do a lot. And we'll do mixed with bananas. A great one, popular one. Anyone who's Moroccan in the room loves the avocado smoothies. We do those really well in Morocco. That's a great thing that we do in Morocco. But these kind of smoothies, they work well for us. Make it in advance, put it in the fridge. You can even freeze them if you wanted to. And they're almost like then a kind of a velvety, kind of almost ice cream-esque. Doesn't quite set, but it's really great to freeze. Nice when the weather's a bit warmer. So as you can see that's nicely thickened up here, and they look wonderful. They taste even better. Unfortunately, we can't share with you guys, but the crew behind me and to the wings, they've been starving, bless them. So they're all here. I'm going to give them some of our smoothies because there's still a long night ahead, and they've still got to have a lot of energy. So these drinks, perfect for the guys here, just to slow releasing energy. And that, for me, great texture, delicious, perfect for your iftar or for your suhoor. And guys, I just hope that you can share your wealth with those that are needed. And this is why we're here.
What's the first thing you think about when you hear the word iftar?
Food. Food.
Food. Dates.
What's the hardest part in Ramadan? Fasting or explaining to people why you're fasting?
Explaining.
Actually, when I was younger, It was a nightmare to explain to people what fasting is, what Ramadan is. You can't even have water. The great thing about London is that's gone now. Most people in London know what fasting is, which is great. So the hardest thing about Ramadan is fasting.
I'd say fasting for me.
If Ramadan could speak to you, what would it remind you of?
Well, that's a great question. Endurance.
Oh, Allah.
Family.
What's the one food you must have at iftar?
A date.
Samosas. Zamzam.
That is so popular. Samosa is so popular. Okay.
Zamzam.
I'm trying to be healthy, so my wife may be watching this. It's a fruit salad. Your fruit salad, honey?
I'm going to say it's fruit chaat, man. Fruit chaat.
My mum's fruit chaat, my wife's fruit salad. My mum or wife could be watching this. They're both great.
We're going to send it to both of them. What does Ramadan change about you?
I suppose it's Christmas really, almost. We're more jolly, we're more calm.
Yeah, I think the giving nature in us is more freer.
Yeah.
I think if I'm honest, and my staff are far too nice to say this, and so is my wife, I can be grumpy because I miss my coffee, and I think they tolerate me, and so that's the hardest thing I find about Ramadan. And I change because I think normally I'm a good guy. I become quite grumpy.
I think it makes you reflect and realise that it makes you selfless, I think.
What's one thing Ramadan gives you that the rest of the year doesn't?
It brings you together with family, even with strangers, and reminds you about the importance of humanity.
Peace.
Yeah, peace and tranquility. Just focus time here.
Inspiration, honestly. Not just the Ramadan Lights, going to the iftars, hearing stories, non-Muslims fasting. It raises my spirits, and of course I love Ramadan because of the fasting, my closeness to our Creator, the charity and the prayers. But it's actually different now. It just gives me a sense of what's great about humanity and about our city.
What's one thing that you want to carry in Ramadan into the rest of the year?
Some of the leftover food from Eid.
My worship.
Discipline and good habits.
Yeah.
I think consideration. One of the things about Ramadan is you think about those less fortunate, whether it's across the globe in Sudan or Gaza or elsewhere, but also we're considerate to each other. You know, think about it, you probably ask somebody far more often during the month of Ramadan how they are than the non-fasting months. So if we can carry that forward, that consideration for somebody who you're fasting with or somebody across the globe, that'd be a really good thing.
Final two questions. What's a Ramadan memory that always stays with you?
Ramadan memory that always stays with me is really suffering on the day of a GCSE exam. And that's why, Mum and Dad, I got a C in that exam. Nothing to do with that. It was because you made me fast.
I still remember now, as a young boy, there was summer Ramadans when I'd be woken up with the smell of my mum cooking paratha and omelettes during Sahari. And similarly, by the way, she'd been up an hour and a half before me to make the food for all of us. And then, I'd go to school and then fall asleep before the fast opens. And my mum, fasting, would make pakora and samosa and fruit chaat and the food. And so the smells evoke memories, but also I just think my mum is a superwoman for fasting the long hours during the month of Ramadan and cooking for, 8 kids, herself and her husband.
Family.
Dad knocking on the door, get up for it.
And last question, repeat and finish the sentence. Ramadan wouldn't feel like Ramadan without.
Corny jokes from presenters about dates being the reason why Ramadan is the most romantic month.
Without Tarawih.
You're so religious. What? Ramadan wouldn't
feel like Ramadan.
The azan. I love hearing the azan.
Perfect.
Oh, it's because it's iftar time.
Chicken, spicy chicken.
From me, the Mayor of London, and my family, to you and your family, a very happy Ramadan. Ramadan Mubarak, Ramadan Kareem. Hope it's a blessed month for you.
That's it for this episode. Join us next week for a special episode where we hear from Nadia Hussain on her new cookbook.